It actually wouldn't let me open the stream up on low, so I just kept it on normal. We'll see how this looks. Looks alright. I want to say that it's better. No, it's still showing that blur. Alright, Crow. I'll catch you later. I'll focus up. Oh no, it's still fucked up. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna have someone help me with it tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they helped me with it when I originally was making videos, so. See you tomorrow. Been having technical difficulties fixing my stream quality, so that is gonna be on the list of things to do. Hopefully we can get that figured out for tomorrow, but I am still gonna do a live stream and set up my analysis for tomorrow. To start off, we'll just talk about the Nasdaq. We did just go. We're on a day chart here, and we did just go positive, positive. A lot of green volume came in. You know, I would expect buyers to be in the middle of this green candle right here. So if I just ran a fib tool from the top of this run, bottom of this run, you know, give or take these first two retracements right here, and you can see that it gets good buying pressure when it comes down today. You know, could we retest in the middle of this green candle? I can also see that this one meets up with the top of this wick right here. So you can, I would want to see if the price did come down to this. I'd want to see what the buying looks like right off of that, somewhere in there, and then probably the bottom of today's, or this would have been Wednesday's candle. Would want to see that as well. But yeah, another strong day in the Nasdaq, and actually this was Thursday's because this is Friday's candle right here. So you can already see starting to have a little bit of a pullback, which is probably to be expected. We did actually just cross over bearish right here on a 15-minute on the Nasdaq, and it's gonna have to fight to get back on top of this EMA now. If it can do it relatively quick, then that is what you want to see, but it also does have this uptrend that is potentially getting ready to give up right here. So you can see, give or take, uptrend built in right there. Multiple ways you can probably set that, but you know, we don't actually get a point of contact right there. So you could say that the uptrend is broken, and we actually do kind of double top right here and kind of back test it, and we held it multiple times right there. But I wouldn't be surprised if people are treating this pre-market action right here in the Nasdaq as part of that uptrend, so that does not give you a point of contact in through this. But all in all, we'll see where the Nasdaq opens up. I could talk about, I mean, the TQ, I would say, you know, it still ends up here bullish. You know, the same buyers could still be there, and they're tough to say. So let's just go over the watch list. Let's start setting up for tomorrow. We can briefly go over Tesla actually. Tesla, I'd say bullish close, but a little bit bearish with the double top. All it would take is a gap down, and all it would look like is a double top that happens at your full retracement right here, your 786. And that 786 kind of meets in over here. Here's your shoulder, head. Now the completion of the right shoulder right there. Could this be retesting this uptrend and finally give out on the uptrend? Well, this is only a 15-minute chart here, guys. We go over to the day chart, and we're still well in the negative over here on Tesla. Well in the negative. And you have a screaming gap fill right here at 113 flat. Go figure, it's a nice whole number, 113. And yeah, as soon as this uptrend gives up, down to 113 we go. But if the Nasdaq wants to get bullish and Tesla takes out this 120, you know, I've been saying 125 because I go back over to this wick over here. But you know, I think we gapped up into that. So yeah, we gap up, we try to have that breakout, just didn't have the strength. Well, now it's kind of building this wedge pattern. If it breaks over top of this 125, I think it's going to go. Potential outs, you know, you have the gap fill up here. That meets in at a couple previous lows right here. That's 137.5 potential return on investment. You take the breakout price 125, 9% upside right there, and it could keep going. You know, you do have more gap fills up that way. But I'm not the most interested. So let's sort this by symbol. We'll start with AA. So pretty strong day here. I'm actually just going to write down all the tickers that I'm going to have set up for tomorrow right now. So AA, yes, another bullish day. You know, you actually got over top of these highs right here. Put wicks into the top of it. It's holding any type of gap up right here. Up to this 1550 could be expected because you got a gap fill meeting in right here. So have a potential out right there, but if it can get through the gap fill, I don't think it's going to have any problem with this high. You can maybe run it up to this next gap fill at 62, and now you have a clear double top right in here. I could expect this to have some resistance built in right there. Not terrible, but a little bit overextended. I want to see it pull back into the middle, my zero on the commodity, and then start curling up again to be able to look at AA. AAL, same story, coming into the downtrend here. A lot of volume, a lot of green volume coming here. The airlines are really picking up steam. You know, good thing I caught wind of this down here. But where do we cross positive? We cross positive, positive on this green candle. We're flirting with under 14 still. From under 14, 22% run. Now that's catching that's catching a bid right there. But we do have earnings coming up, so keep that in mind. It seems like there's probably a couple murmurs going around that they're going to beat on earnings. And I think AAL specifically had an update on their earnings for Q4, and I think it was positive. I'm not even really sure. ACCO, same thing, a little overextended. Potential profit takes, we're looking at these upper sixes, and 7 flat, I'm sure, is going to act as some sort of 706 gap fill right there, right at the top of that candle. And you got another gap fill up at this 720 and 750. So I mean, if it's able to run up to that, I mean that's still quite a bit of upside left in this run, up to about 23%. But you do have a nice gap fill down here. But I don't think this is done moving to the upside. ACI. So it gaps up. Let's actually just clear the chart right here. So we gap up, we fill the gap, we set a close above that gap fill. I would say that's big because it's trying to flirt with breaking the start of this gap fill. If it can start breaking this gap fill, it's going to start slowly climbing up into this gap, and we are well into positive. If this would have closed below the gap fill, so let's say it opens, it so it actually opens up here, it sells off, fills the gap, catches a bid, and then it sells off at below the gap fill, then that's not as enticing. But there is the buyers are still here for this, so not going to give up on that position just yet. ALSN, couple of wick tops into this right here. It wanted to try the breakout a couple times. I would say over top of this wick looks pretty good for tomorrow if it's able to reclaim 43.50 in particular. So here's 43.50s in the middle of this wick. It's probably going to catch a little bit of a bid, and I want to see it break over top of this high. That would be awesome, because then I really think that it has a chance to go test the all-time high price again. But it held really good down here at this support. I'm sure there's gap fills on the way over here, but the longer term picture, let's switch over to a weekly chart so we can see this a little bit better. It's been holding this uptrend very nicely. Now you could say that there is in some way, shape, or form a channel going out like that, but then you have a clear downtrend right here. Now we are broken through that downtrend, holding on top of that. If it wants to come retest the channel up here, that is your breakout price, I would say, to the top end of this channel. 50% potential run here. So ALSN, definitely on the radar. I'd say a bullish close, or on a weekly chart, this looks fantastic. Let's see if it can actually truly break through this wedge right here. AutoNation, I thought I had this up at the beginning of the day, and I took it off. Yeah, so we gap up, it starts to get further down into, and I had this marked on my chart right here. Wow. Maybe I had an order in off the gap. I don't even remember. Let's see the 15 minutes, see what actually happened. So it gaps up, and it failed to get above this multiple times. So here's Thursday. We actually gapped down and finished the day pretty bullish on AutoNation. So that is probably one to keep on watch right here. We just barely went positive. If it's able to break this downtrend right here, I mean, look at this weekly chart, guys. That weekly chart is gorgeous. If it's able to break that downtrend, potential break at a high price. Where is an extension for this? Let's go to a month chart. So yeah, I'd say potential run 171. It's at the tail end of this extension. If it wants to get bullish, it can maybe even shoot through that 171. But 171 and probably this. So let's take this off and see where we're sitting on the daily. So we're looking to take the breakout of the wedge and probably the breakout over top of these two highs right here. So let's just go from current price, 25%, 46% potential outs. AutoNation, we're going to write that one down. We're going to keep an eye on that one. AOS, I wasn't even sure if this was even to be respected at all. But put the direct wick into it, and now we actually close right on top. You know, if this starts turning green and just consolidate sideways, it's going to naturally start building this U shape in with this uptrend right here. So we draw in an uptrend, give or take somewhere like that, and it builds this nice U shape right in with that uptrend and pushes for another high. It's going to go flirt with these highs over here. This looks more like a retracement with how deep this run is to the downside. So retracement, you know, yeah, I would say some definite resistance from 44 to or 64 to 66. 702 is at 74, so keep an eye on that 702. But yeah, this doesn't look terrible. It's got a decent uptrend. Decent uptrend right there. If this is actually just forming a channel, give or take something like that, then yeah, not terrible. Long-term uptrend, pretty much in line with that, and all it did before was trade in this channel. So this actually the top end of the previous channel. So we're trading in this channel, and now this same top end of the channel is just turning into the next trend line. Look at that, guys. How about that? God forbid what happens if this starts trading back in this channel. You know, I'm not trying to say that this is going to come down to 1150, but you know, these previous tops look really good for a resting area. And more specifically, this was a neckline buy you see on this wick right here. How we backtest the neckline. Could revisit that or even previous high. So, I mean, if that downtrend gives, this is what the shorters are saying. Hey, potential run down to here, but then you also have this bottom price. That is A.O. Smith. 18F, you know, this was just a trade that looked like it could have had potential. Right here, we're getting ready to go positive. Doesn't pass the rules to take a trade on this by any means. But it had a lot of green volume, not even a good catalyst. And it failed to get positive. Had it gotten positive, it would have been a breakout of this 750 probably. And yeah, still has a chance. I mean, we're still potentially in the early stages, and it looks like that gap fill was able to hold. It never actually filled that. So that's interesting. BHG, now I think that this is potential gap up, and you're going to see it have a shaved bottom. So I think it's potential that this gaps up like sort of by the top of this wick, and it's going to form this shaved bottom, and it's going to try to take out this high price right here. So 88 cents, and if it's able to push that, you know, you can maybe run it, and it just so happens that 88 cents meets up with this previous shelf right here. You guys see that? So it's also meeting in with resistance right there. So yeah, if it's able to get on top of that, this looks good for potential retest of this previous low right here. So $1.40, talking about a price down here at 80 cents. Potential run 70%, 100%, and 140%, give or take. Yeah, I think BHG should be on watch. BHG. BLDR. Now, I thought for sure that this gap was going to get filled when I was looking at it on this day. And we actually gap up, fill the gap. We still close above this downtrend right here. Now, whether this downtrend meant anything, I mean, there's only so far you can pull this downtrend up. This is about as far as it gets. Now, if you wanted to say, okay, you go from over these highs right here, and that we're still in the downtrend, I think you're pushing it, because this is a nice looking U shape right here, and the way that this downtrend was set like that, The gap up makes sense. So we gap up and we set a close right above it. We gap up, we put wicks into the top of it. And now it's going to try the breakout over top. So if this gaps up at all tomorrow, looks fairly decent to bare minimum fill this gap. Bare minimum fill this gap. Keep an eye. This could trap you and wick. There could be a big sell order off that gap. But if it gets through that gap, I think this looks good to potentially take out this wick high price and run for this gap fill at 76.20. So potential price down here, 76.20 is 8.5%. But keep in mind with this one, just because it's potentially getting over top of this wedge, the entry on this was, over here when we're consolidating sideways. And probably right in here when you're holding these lows. So maybe you missed out the initial break positive. You could have bought the consolidation somewhere in here. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. BPOP banks report tomorrow. So you guys know that I have the trade in BPOP. And it is a green trade. It isn't moving awfully fast, but it is just trading this channel. And it was getting very close to breaking that channel at the end of the day. But we are just slightly positive, so very early stages of this trade. But I think that I can get this gap fill up here, bare minimum, for a couple outs. So from current price, I still think it's got at least another three to run. But we are meeting in right at a downtrend right here. So, if the banks come out and light it up, and we gap up over that, this could get pretty bullish right here. Price that we are right here, we pretty much just backtest the previous high that we fought to get over, and now it's acting as support. So could have that catalyst, but we do have a neckline down here, if you want to call that double bottom, and that neckline meets up at the previous high right here. So this is a definite clear resistance line. So shorts are thinking, hey, maybe down to 45 to 50 bucks. But I think BPOP will be on the watch for tomorrow. BPOP. Boyd Gaming stayed strong. It was strong right from the open. We had this open when we did our first live stream of the day. And it just churned pretty much the whole day. So it gaps up. It can't even get down to the gap. It gaps up intraday. Shade bottom. Boom. Just straight up. Not even on a volume spike or anything. There was just nobody that wanted to sell it right there. You know what I mean? I mean, if there was no size to sell it for sell orders, then that's just straight up right through that. Until someone wanted to sell it. Eventually, someone wanted to sell it here at 57.94. And we just churned up basically the whole day. I would say, even though we closed below this EMA, and we were getting ready to go negative, the daily chart just looks, we do get a direct fill on that gap. That's why you always gotta look at these gap fills, guys. Look at that, direct fill on that gap. If this was a heavy sell order right here, going into the banks, these are, this isn't bank related. Nonetheless, the pullback range is, if we just use the fib tool from top and move to the bottom of the move right here, we move this line right there, and we move this line right there. Now if we wanted to use the candle body right there, let's call that a buying window right there. So any pullbacks into here, I would expect, this is 58 flat. Go figure, guys. Go figure. What are the odds this comes and trades down at 58 flat tomorrow, and then it just takes out the day's high from today? It's possible. But now, if it does retest this high price, it doesn't have the gap fill. And this is an open gap up here, so potential runs on this. We did just go positive as well. So, you got to out at 60, 61. If it takes out that high, retest to the downtrend. So, pull back to that 58 flat. Plenty of outs for plenty of profit right there. Now, God forbid if it's able to end up pushing this downtrend or this descending channel right here. When are their earnings? They do have earnings coming up. A lot of earnings are getting ready to come up here, guys. So BYD did just go positive. Throw that one on the watch. Oh, that does not look good. That looks like a short all day. It just went negative in this candle. You know, it could get a pullback to this. Oh man, it's gonna have to fight past this previous low. Yeah, I mean, this looks like a short. This to me just looks like a short. As an extremely high neckline, they call this a left leg neckline, right bottom, and extended right leg. It already back tested it right here. There's your pop. Everyone already got out. Boom, short. Now it's a short all day, making this head and shoulders pattern to the downside. Could it have some consolidation? I'd expect to get rejected off 300 flat. So this is CACI. What do they do? Let's just go find out what they do real quick. CACI. Technology. So a lot of times I just like looking at the sector. I don't think all of technology looks bad. It's just I could read more about what they actually do. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to be touching it at all. Cardinal Health looks like a short, and what I called yesterday, I said that this was going to go try to test these lows here. Well, the buyers are keeping it up right now. This could end up trying to build support right here, but I would expect that this looks like a flat bottom breakdown all day. And when I say flat bottom, it's going to start forming this. It's going to try to hold this, and it's going to look like a flat bottom on like a 15-minute chart. So if I go over to a 15-minute chart, you see how we just have these flat bottoms, flat bottoms, flat bottoms. Now it's going to try to do the same thing. Flat bottom. It's going to give that up. Flat bottom, boom. Breakout to the downside. That's a flat bottom breakdown all day. CC looks bullish. I don't know. Yeah, let's look. I don't know if this is properly drawn downtrend, but we are gapped up above it. And what was the other one that looked like this? There was another one that looked like this. But yeah, same little story here, guys. This nice little uptrend. Where's your buy on this? Let's zoom into our commodity. We dipped down, so let's say you missed the opportunity, you missed the run right here. Okay, it consolidates down. It starts to look like a short, but the uptrend holds. You see how we have this uptrend in right here? Now when it starts reclaiming this, look at how right when we go positive, here's your entry. So the longs, I would say, are definitely in this, and they're already in for 5.5%. You can probably run this gap, meeting in with plenty of resistance, but if it can get through that, it's got a few gaps that are going to need to get filled over here. So those are all potential outs right there. From current price, 5, 9, 15, 21, 25. 25% potential, I'd say, on that. You know, if you get a breakout price over that, the market's just ripping, I would say. But not a terrible look on this. Oh man, I didn't even look left of the chart. That's why I always gotta look left of the chart. That's what the shorters are looking at. They're saying, hey, downtrend, or the uptrend is all the way down here. See how it's got kind of this bent fishing rod? It's got a rod, and the fish is down here at the trend line, and it's pulling that line down. If it gives out, here's a potential short play, guys. Potential short if it ends up failing that uptrend. You know, bare minimum, you got this uptrend right here. So bent fishing rod down to both of them. That's CC. Ticker CC. Coco. Calling it right now, guys. It might not be the Valentine's, but come Easter time, that's what the the companies are focused on right now. They already got Valentine's covered. This is cocoa futures. Now, let's just go to a weekly chart real quick. How beautiful does this wedge pattern look right here? It looks absolutely phenomenal for a breakout price. And here's your extension. So potential run on cocoa, guys. 80, 195, 290. 290. Yeah, do you think that would change people's business that are related to cocoa? Like, watch out for that one. Watch out for the cocoa. CE. Square the chart. Run a week chart. Week chart looks pretty good. About to go positive on that week chart. Yeah, man, the week chart. Week chart will tell you a lot. The week chart will tell you a lot. But it is a little bit elevated down here. I need to see it retrace back to these previous highs. Boom, boom, boom. And we have a gap fill right there. I think I remember saying something about this yesterday. But yeah, I want to see it pull back down into there and then start doing the U-shape. So this is one of those scenarios where, you know, I probably already missed the entry. The entry's over here on this green candle. Right there, you open. That's when you go positive. And you're in this the whole time. You put a stop loss right below this. If that ever goes below that, you're out. You know, it could have faked a couple people out right here. Would have really tested your buttons when it set another low. But buyers came in. And yeah, we hold this uptrend. Now I want to see it curl back into this uptrend. You know, it does have another gap right here, but then you want to see the buyers come in, push it back positive. That's CE. CF Industries caught a little bit of a bid today, but still just too low. Way too far negative, way too far negative. And off of the uptrend, it looks like. Cheesecake Energy Corp. You know, starting to churn back up a little bit. Needs to catch more of a bid. Cleveland Cliffs broke right out of that channel right there. It looks like it actually kind of respected my channel a little bit. Alright, gaps right through it. Come on. Had we identified this early, you know, what's the run on this for today? From open price, 4%. Okay. Whatever. It's still a little bit too far elevated for me, so. Compass, man, we had fun with Compass today. We had some good outs. You know, had to take a couple pieces off at this 350. I had to respect it. But then once it got there, it stayed pretty bullish, and I think we had another out at this 360 over here. And then I said I'm holding the rest, and it ends pretty bullish. You know, if Compass wants to just keep churning away and just keep paying, I mean, here's your wick top right here. We're thinking potential outs. We already have them marked up here. I don't think I've really even changed any of these. But it's still got another 13% to run there. Another 50% to run to this top gap. You know, could see some consolidation retrace back to the top end of this long downtrend that it had. But nonetheless, it has been catching a lot of volume. So, yeah, Compass. Keep that one on the watch. Con, you know, kind of missed the entry on Con. Yeah, I would have liked to take the breakout right here, but I think I was telling myself that, you know, I'm in a lot of trades already. You know, I could see it coming back down, and so for this candle, you can see how far disconnected we are from this EMA. It just wasn't comfortable at the time, and now we're at this resistance. It's like, well, is it going to shoot up to the next high? I don't know, but yeah, we'll move on. So cows. Gonna see how it acts with the downtrend. You know, I did check the after hours, and apparently cows is gonna gap up to like 49.30. Let's go actually just look at that real quick. 49.50 it says we're gapping up to tomorrow. So if we do get that 49.50 gap up, that is going to be above the downtrend that we have set. So that we are we couldn't have called this out any better right here. As soon as we go positive on this candle is where we go positive. You gap up, fills the gap. We're buying the gap. We're buying. We're buying. We're buying. We're buying. We're buying. And now we're holding pretty much all day, not thinking about cutting into the downtrend at all, which is extremely risky. I will say extremely risky, but I'm very confident in the cows. And this looks really good to potentially break over top of this downtrend and push for another high. Potential extensions on the cows. You know, you might say, you know, why wouldn't you just load up like on cows like you would Compass? It's just cows is just way better. Like the cows is just way better to me. I can't even explain it. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. So potential outs, we're looking at extension prices up here. You know, from current price, still got another 6, 34, 50% to run. I think it looks good. So we are going to have the cows on watch. CrowdStrike. We actually did dip into a little CrowdStrike today. I probably shouldn't dip in anymore. I mean, just on the daily, we're way negative, way negative. But it is trying, just this look right here. When you can identify uptrends on the commodity channel, in my experience, I've had success doing that. This was older trading styles where, you know, I would look for something like this and I would take the breaks of these exits. Well, had I been doing that with CrowdStrike, boom, 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 all types of swings, but they're not holds because we're not positive, we're negative. We want to see this really start churning up and get to that positive. You know, it's going to have to come up and fill this gap. And this is probably why I'm dipping into it, because I'm saying to myself is, this is CrowdStrike, you know, this should come up and fill this gap for a 6% move at least. And if it can start doing that, then I'm going to like my entry. So CrowdStrike, I'm not going to throw it on the watch because it doesn't pass the criteria. Well, look at this healthy channel downtrend. Imagine when we're able to push that downtrend and we're able to go. This is the longer picture of it. And this is maybe why I'm dipping into it a little bit. You know, I'm having a lot of success in a lot of other trades. Let's see if we can press our luck and get some early entries onto this before this can start turning positive. Excuse me. Yeah, Cisco building a nice U shape. You know, here's the U shapes that you like to see, but you know, not as easy to identify because we don't come back negative first before we come back positive. We'll start moving through these a little bit quicker. CTRA, now I think I did pull this over and I was thinking about buying it, but I just need to see one more day. Why? Because what do we do with the wick? We just filled the gap. I wanted to see how it acted with the gap and clear rejection off of that gap. Well, now tomorrow we don't have to worry about this. If this gets any type of pullbacks into like the middle of this green candle, you have a potential entry right there and a potential entry off the gap. That's, you can call this 25.25 and 24.75, and you can let that ride and you can give it, you have this gap fill for protection, so you can run this stop probably below this green candle. I doubt, you know, probably 24 flat, so like 23.95. You can give it a little bit of that green candle, but you know, if it starts coming down here, yeah, it's probably going to catch a bit off of this gap. If you wanted to set your stop, you can go below all of it, but I don't know. It's tough to tell what the market's going to do 3-4 days from now. If we're focusing on just tomorrow, I say the middle of this green candle doesn't look half bad. So we are going to throw CTRA on the watch for tomorrow. CTRA. CTSH, man. If I had been watching this, I took a couple outs early in the day, and if I'd seen it cross over like this, just how aggressive that red candle looks right there. It's tough to say, but look at the green volume that comes in at the end of the day. I think that this can keep churning away potentially. And we do have our gap fill at 68.50, so that is really where we're looking to take outs. Why'd we take profits early in the day? We got a gap fill right here. Had my out a little bit before that gap, so we called it 66.25. Yeah, we missed out on a piece up here, but we made the right decision in making that call to cut a little bit at that gap. Can it run for 68.50? That is really what I'm hoping for. And yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, really good move on this. We had some really good entries on this one. And we've been loving taking the profits. Took some profits in off this downtrend and a little bit off of this day. And we took a little bit more today as well. So you can't complain. DAL Airlines still catching the bid. Dropbox. This is kind of like that Cisco. If I go back to that Cisco, you see how it's building this U shape right there? Well, now this one's more recent. It's not as developed, and if this makes this U shape and can push this downtrend, it's respecting this uptrend pretty well. Personally, I'd like to see it get rejected, trade down, and respect this uptrend, and then we can take the breakout of this wedge pattern, probably at a cheaper price. But it does meet the criteria to potentially throw it on a watch list, but I could easily see it just getting rejected and off of this all day long. So, and it does have a gap fill, probably. Oh, I didn't mean to mess that up. It does have a gap fill right there. If it gets up to that, it's probably gonna go. Could throw it on a watch. Dell looks bearish. Dell looks bearish. I'm pretty sure I called that out on stream yesterday. Is getting ready to cross back over negative. Negative. Set to close below the EMA. Bearish. On a day like yesterday, Dell is bearish. Why? You gotta ask yourself why. But they do have a dividend coming up. If you want to sneak in before this dividend, it's probably going to happen soon, so we'll see how Dell acts tomorrow. If this wants to curl back up, this could actually end up breaking this downtrend. Tough to say. It does put a nice drop right here, pretty much to the previous highs. Dino still needs to keep curling up. I'm not sold yet. Gotta take out that wick price that we marked. Disney's churning away. Entries are already in there. Dow, DOW, yeah, just overextended. Oil, I'm telling you guys, oil is setting up. And in Devon's Energy Corporation in particular, you broke through the downtrend very, very solid. Let's see this maybe trade down and then start catching a bid for a confirmed higher low. But, oil might not give you that pullback. DXC, let's see how it acts with the uptrend or the downtrend, descending channel. EAF, bullish close. It looks like it's going to continue to be bullish. I had this marked for the breakout price right here where we get that true breakout. Let's see if it can just gap up and just go right through that entirely, right up to 6. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? That'd be nice. So EAF for profit take. We're going to put that over here for profit take. EAF for sure. Looking to take profits on that tomorrow. Oil. Guys, I'm telling you, look at these oil setups right here. This is just getting ready to go positive. This is EOG Resources right here. Oil is getting ready to churn. Let's just go take a look at oil right now, because I think that's important to go take a look at oil. CL. Guys, does it look familiar? Getting ready to go positive. You got the nice 4 solid green candle volume sticks. And as soon as it gets back, reclaims 80. I mean, if it gets over, I'm calling it 82. I'll say 82. That's as high as I'll go. If it gets over 82, oh boy, watch out for the oil because this is going to be setting up a decent size U shape right here. And this U shape flirts over here with this price. And this back tests the neckline. Let's zoom out a little bit further for you guys. You got a left leg, a bottom, a neckline. Let's just mark the neckline out right now. You have your ABC fall. Here's your right bottom. Now you churn up, you get your extended right leg. Now we're back testing the neckline. And look at what oil is trying to do right here. Even on a weekly chart, this looks like it's getting ready to start curling up. Look at this. I mean, confirmed higher low on a weekly. We go to a day chart, and this is getting ready to go positive. Breakout price 82. Keep oil on watch. Do not sleep on the oil. Another oil play. Look familiar. Getting ready to go positive. Still needs a little room to go right there. Not quite. Nope. Building the U shape. We've seen this once or twice. Expedia Group caught a bid today. You know, coming right into the downtrend though. You got a gap fill right here as well. So definitely some resistance overhead. Diamondback Energy took a trade on this today. Now let's talk about why we did it. One, you got no gap over here. Your gap fill is up here at 156. Two, you took out yesterday's high price. Three, we're about to go positive and we're already positive here. This looks pretty damn good even if this pulls back into like these previous high wicks right here. These are the buys that you want to be looking at right there. So that's a deeper pullback. You could just have one just a little bit before that to try and get filled, and you could even have one off of the top of the body candle of this red candle. I mean, all sorts of buying opportunity in right here, and I'm sure a lot of other people are looking at that too. Let's see how this closes. Closes with red candles. It's already telling you that, hey, potential pullbacks into this, you know, and this looks like pretty dandy of support that pulls back over to the top of this red candle. It looks pretty damn good, I would say, for dip buys back into this, and you do have an uptrend, so wait to see how it acts with that uptrend, and then if it looks good and it starts turning back positive and starts building this U shape. How many times we see an extension pull back and builds a U shape, and then the U shape is your entry, and then you can have another entry as it breaks this high. Where's our out? We got the 56 gap up here, so any from current price, you know, another 7.5% to run to that, just that gap. Looks pretty good, I would say. And I've been taking banger trades all week. That one looks pretty decent. So Fox A, respected. It broke through the downtrend. Looks pretty good. We've been positive already, missed the entry. FVR. Now we are confirmed positive. Now we bought this at the breakout of this wick. Look at this entry down here. It was a 30 break, 30 flat, and look at where here's the gap up. You had your opportunity to buy the gap all day, and now same scenario. Gaps up. You had your opportunity to buy the gap in the middle of this green candle, and this looks good for continuation. You got gap fill at 35.30, so still a potential 5% move to the upside there, and this meets in with the downtrend up here. You still got another 10%, give or take, to there. Now God forbid if this is able to, now when I zoom out you guys see a little bit more of a picture. Got almost a confirmed uptrend right here. You do not want to see that uptrend give up, but if it can break this descending channel right here, this could be early signs of starting to build this U shape right here. FVR, we need that on the watch list for tomorroar. And I think we can probably add DVN, and what was another one? EOG. HPQ, we did have some entries in the HPQ. We did not get this as it broke up positive. So here's your break positive on this candle, and specifically the next candle. But look at, uh, just not a very bullish candle. This one looks more bullish. We didn't take the trade here. We didn't take it the day before. We took the trade today, and now it might actually be looking a little bit bearish. So let's just clear the chart. Let's look at where we took the trade. So we were looking to take an entry on this. We had our eyes elsewhere over here, as I stated. Now where's the start of the day? Here's Thursday. So here's the start of the day. Gaps down, just looks bearish all day. You can't take the trade on this. That just looks bearish, like it wants to give up. Okay, now it's fighting. Now it's fighting. Didn't want to take the entry right here. Probably didn't have my eyes on it right away. But on this candle, when I had identified this high as we're inching over top of this, this is where I took the entry, and then I bought in the middle of both of these candles, expecting this to churn more to the north side, and boom. I thought about cutting some of it. I didn't have too much size on it, but if this starts trying to give up this price down here, I'm gonna have to cut this for a loss, because they're saying to themselves already, hey, trend lines down here, meeting in with a gap fill, could look a little bit bearish. I don't know. I thought that it looked good. I thought I had the good entry on it, but yeah, it's still got work to do for sure. But we are confirmed through the downtrend. I do like the way that looks. I think HPQ should definitely be on the watch for tomorrow, and I'm going to need to be watching it because I'm in it. HPQ. H&R Block, still got to keep churning up. Nope. Intel. Potential cuts for Intel. You got the 3067 gap, so let's just mark that for a profit take right now. $30.67 gap. We're definitely gonna look to take some outs right there, but this looks pretty good. I mean, just churning away, broke the downtrend. If it can get over top of this high, it looks like it's gonna potential run on Intel up another 30%. That doesn't look half bad. We are coming up on earnings, so keep that in mind. Intel. INVA, we took a trade on INVA. We just marketed in right at the beginning of the day almost. It showed that it wanted to break through this wedge. You know, this is early signs right here, but I mean, as soon as we broke out, where do we break out at? So let's just clear the chart. I can't even think of where I was at. I can't even remember where we took the trade. Probably in the middle of this green candle right here. You know, definitely late to the party. Where's the open price at? So open price. Oh no, no, our entry. Yeah, break out of this candle right here. So probably like 1363. So we are a little bit red in the candle, and not a very bullish close by any means. But I think that this is still a potential gap up right here. I think this should probably be on watch. I mean, there's no, I don't think so. I think this is going to pan out. Could it have pullbacks into like this 1350? Sure, it could, but I would expect buyers here at this 1350. Why? Here's your downtrend right here. Pull back into the top of that downtrend. I would expect buyers off of that. And if it wants to choose this direction, I'll gladly take it. So, INVA going to go on the watch for tomorrow. Nope. Nope. Kroger. We said Kroger kind of looked a little bit bearish, but it does want to set a close above this. So if this wants to start building a U shape right here, then think about maybe taking the trade. Could be on watch for tomorrow. Nope. Light. We have been building our position in light, and we do not want this channel to eventually give up. We want this channel to hold as long as it possibly can. But we did just go positive, so light is going to go on the watch list for tomorrow. LITE. Doesn't look half bad. We go into the 15-minute chart. It actually does close fairly bullish. It respects this channel that we're in, and breakout price at 57.50 probably. Closed at 57.25. So light, definitely keep that one on watch. This looks like an energy play. Yeah, energy and oil, but this one does have the downtrend broken right here. I don't think we're going to have this one on watch, but you know, if it wants to get back on top of that downtrend, or uptrend, I mean. LPX, oil play. Yeah, I mean, look at this. We get the bullish candle. This one is already positive. It's got a nice U shape. I don't know if this is an oil play or not, actually. Let's go look. LPX. I want to say it's an oil play. Industrials. Building a nice U shape. You know, if it wants to break over top of this high price right here, that does come right at a gap fill though, so keep in mind. Watch out for a bull trap right there for sure. Bull trap right there. Flirting with that high price right there. Really flirting with it. LSTR. Still looking like a nice U shape. Lumen. Yes, sir. Held above 6. Beautiful U shape. Called this out. That took the breakout above this wick. I think it was a 550 break. I might have been a little early to it. But yeah, really good move in Lumen. And yeah, I think that this is definitely poised for that $7 gap fill. So we are going to have Lumen on the watch. LUMN. Should definitely be on the watch for tomorrow. LYB profit take. So LYB 96.10 gap fill. So LYB 96.10. Write that down. This one should be on watch for tomorrow. Live Nation Entertainment. Building a nice U shape. I already got the gap fill right there. Now breakout price of these wicks as a pretty decent uptrend. Just went positive, so I mean we're gonna throw it on the watch list for sure. LYV. Macy's churning away bullish, as I had pretty much stated. It went positive, building a nice U shape. Marps. Keep Marps on watch here, boys. Keep these oil plays on watch. Telling you guys, we just went positive right here, about to go positive. This is going to be getting ready for a dividend, so their ex-dividend was on November, so looking at December, January, February, that dividend is going to be coming up before we know it. And yeah, Marps looks like a dandy. And we're trading down here at the bottom of this channel. Here's your channel. Getting ready to go positive. Olive oil looks like it's setting up to turn bullish. Yeah, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. Gap fill up here at 875, so what's a potential run on that? 14% for your first out. You want to see the percent run for top end of the channel. 276% with an 11% dividend. Come on, guys. MARP's on the watch list for sure. Matt X. This is real. Now, we are confirmed through this downtrend. I wouldn't say confirmed. I'm not marking that stamp yet. But this is trying to turn bullish. And let's go look at our commodity. We're getting ready to go positive. We can take the break out of this. 65. Calling 65 break right there. So I do think Matt X should be on watch. Matt X should be on watch. McKissick. No, we're not messing with McKissick. 380. No, thank you. We are going to potential 133 outs for Med. MED had a great entry on Med. As soon as we took the positive, we took the breakout of 118.75. Had some good ends at 120 flat, I believe. And yeah, just riding the wave up. Let's see if we can hit this to the top end of the channel for. Yeah, that's a good trade. We had some size on this one too, so we are going to be looking to take profits right there. Not yet. MO. Told you guys this looked like a short. Now someone would say, how can this be a short when they have an 8% dividend? Very simple. Negative, negative. Now we're flirting back negative again. We failed to set a close above the EMA how many times? But this could be a bear trap. Why? Because you have the gap fill that it holds above. Fills the gap, holds above it. So this could still be in play. But this is looking like a short down to these low 40s, I think. So we will look at that another day. MOS positive, about to go positive, breakout price of this, but then you got to worry about the downtrend. It's like, is it going to push the downtrend? You never really know. But, you know, not terrible, not a terrible look right there. MPC oil play. Any guesses on what this is looking like? And we did just go positive right here. We have not bought this simply just because it's not that we retested these highs up here. It's that we're at the all-time high right here. There's so many other oil plays out there that I just you could keep this one on watch if you wanted to. MPC, but we're gonna move on. Merdana, not yet, just not yet. Would be good ends at this 192 break though. MRO, yeah, we've been watching MRO quite a bit, and we have some really good ends at 27 and right off the gap fill at this 26.60. Yeah, it looks poised. It's getting ready to go positive. MRO, keep that one on the watch list. MRO looks poised, ready to go. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. MRVI, this is trying to get positive here. Kind of respected that a little bit, but this descending channel to the downside, I want to see it get that. This is like that FVRR, except for this one doesn't have the support to the left side, and it hasn't confirmed over that downtrend yet. But it is respecting this channel pretty well. If we are thinking out potential ends on this at this price, you know, the top end of this channel, 44%. If it can remain bullish after that, 78% up to this gap. So yeah, definitely could catch a bid. Could keep it on watch for tomorrow, but I'll be able to see it if it's jumping. You know, it is curling, but I don't think so. Mullen, I think I'm gonna have to cut the Mullen position. I just see this double top starting to form in right here, and I just don't know if Mullen's got the juice. It might, it very well could. I just don't know if it's got the juice. So we might up that stop loss up to like this 35. If it gives, maybe below this wick, we'll leave it at 33. Netflix churning away. Gap fill at 350. Watch out at 350, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch out 350. If it gives up this uptrend, Netflix is going to boom down to the long-term trend line. I wouldn't say it's guaranteed, but you know that trend line right there looks like a simple ABC retracement down to it. I'm sure there's a gap fill meeting in right there. We should look to probably take some profits on Netflix. Actually, I got Netflix. It's alright. I've been calling this gap for quite some time. For those who watch my analysis on Netflix, we've been calling for this gap for quite some time. Neo should probably be on watch. Positive, early signs of a breakout. We set a close above that wick. So Neo is going to catch the watch list right there. NRG, been watching this simply because we got this 40-71 gap, but it's starting to look like a flat bottom breakdown. But it could catch a bid. Entries for this, we're looking at entries if it can get over 33. Break at 33, we'll call it. Yeah, NRG can catch the watch list. NRG, no. Nope. 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 Okay, now we're talking. So, breakout price 57 break here. You gotta worry about the gap at 57.84, but after that looks pretty good. Another gap at 58.50. Did just go positive, potential double top right here, but I think OLN can catch the watch list. I said yesterday that we were just gonna monitor it. Open about to go positive. Open goes positive and just stays bullish. Open needs to be on the watch list. OVV. Oh, this looks pretty good. I'm guessing this is probably an oil play. Yep, oil play. Oil, guys, I'm telling you, there's no way this is a coincidence that all these oil plays are starting to pop up. There's no way. There's no way in hell, guys. I'm not letting that go. No way all these oil plays are looking like this. OXY. Guys, come on. Every single one of these oil plays needs to be on watch. Getting ready to go positive. PDC. PDC. Pretty bullish. Pretty bullish. Pfizer looking bearish. Bearish. Pins looking pretty good. What are the odds Pins is going to end up breaking out of this channel right here? Man, how about that look, guys? You think this is developing a U-shape in some way, shape, or form? You know, actually, it looks like it could potentially be coming the retest. I should have took some outs on this yesterday, but we'll see it tomorrow. Other than get some outs up here at this 30. Pins needs to be on the left for a profit take. Profit takes. Yes, sir. POTK. You know it is. Positive. Plenty of buying opportunities is what I stated. Here's your breakout price. Putting wicks into the top of it. PLTR. TK. PLTK. Pure Storage. You know, I think that this can be on watch simply because of this uptrend. That has a lot of points of contact and, you know, a pretty fair channel. You know, maybe it's just not gonna give you that downside down to these low 20s. I don't know. Pure Storage, I think, should be on watch. Not for tomorrow. It's still got a ways to go. Let's see how it acts with this uptrend. PSX oil play looking pretty good. PSX. PXD. Now this one good took the break. Called it out on the live stream. Could have took the break on PXD. We're gonna throw that on the watch. PayPal. Keep this one on watch. Just got a nice channel. This one's just like light. Wonder if there's any relation there. PayPal on watch. QDEL looking a little bearish right here, giving up this channel. And you can see here comes your 1, 2, 3 down to this previous low, building this head and shoulders look right there. QDEL definitely looking a bit bearish. QDEL looking bearish. QRVO, nice U shape. Roblox, just going positive. Bought some at the end of the day at the 33 break. We'll go look at that real quick. But Roblox should be on watch, in my opinion. Filled the gap. Here's your consolidation. Here's your gap fill from the day before. We did not buy that gap, but we bought it at the close as it was getting ready to turn green right here. We took the break before the EMA, and now I do not normally do that, but this setup, this is right near the end of the day, and it just looked like it was getting ready to go, and had a beautiful close. So was a little bit risky on the entry, but I mean it just looked good. But look at you bought this gap. That gap fill, buyers right there, churned out pretty good entries. Oh man, look at that. Oh, this is what I'm like. Okay, this is a 15-minute chart. Yeah, look, very good close, I would say. Very good close. And yet we are positive, so RHI is going to catch the watch list. RHI. Rig. Man, I should have took some profits on Rig. It just looks so good. It was over top of my breakout price. Everything was looking good, and it just turned bearish on me, and I didn't have the stomach to sell it. I just think that I'm going to be able to sell this, and the oil plays are picking up. So I'm not buying this for a second, even though Rig's a shipper, they still contract and drill oil. I'm not giving up on these oil plays. I'm not weak-handing this play. I really believe I'm gonna get outs here up at this lower sevens. I just couldn't take it to myself to sell some. But Rig for a profit take, we are gonna throw that over here because that candle from today is a little bit bearish. This RRC caught a little bit of a bid today. Gap fill right here, it's gonna have to churn out, but RRC, let's throw that on the watch. RRC. RS, churning away. Sleep number for a profit take. SoFi, probably a profit take. I'd imagine it's going to tap this 550. So we are going to put that 550 Square. Square looks pretty good. Profit take at 73.40. Smith & Wesson building a beautiful U shape with the gap fill right here. You know, I would say that's good enough alone to throw that on the watch for tomorrow. Energy play, guys. Every single one of these oil plays that I put up here looks beautiful. Every single one of them. It's ridiculous. This looks like bottom end of the channel that's trying to respect. If it gets back on top, you know, this looks like a potential play too. TDC. Breakout price up here. THO. TNet. TNet profit take 76.50. Trip. Too many green candles. Tyson. Now this one's gonna fake me out, I think. TSN. Keep it on a watch. Probably stop loss down here. God, it's right by that gap though. God, this one is just a clusterfuck of a chart. But, man, where would you put a stop loss? Do you just let it fight through this and just eat the loss at the beginning? We are positive. This should start catching a bid. There's no way this can be positive, and be 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles in a row, right? I don't know if I'm buying that. I just don't know if I'm buying it, but look at how it closes. I mean, we close as bearish as it gets. How many people out, stopping everyone out right here? And you do have the gap fill right here, so you could give it a little bit below that, but then you have another gap fill right here. I mean, extremely bearish close, but one to definitely keep on watch. So this is going to be a potential cut. TSN. VLO. Every single oil play, guys. Look at this. Early signs of a potential U shape coming in right here. As soon as it breaks out over top of this 136, boom. VLO. VTRS looks like it's actually going to be a buy for tomorrow. Broke the downtrend, resting on top of the downtrend. Now we're about to break positive. It already faked people out once. Now here's your actual entry. VTRS. Warner Bros. Just going berserk. Warner Bros. For a profit take. Should have profit took today off this gap, but never reached it. 1335. WBD 1335. WY. We did start a position in this today. Let's go look at when we started it. Gaps down, comes back positive, boom. As soon as you get this consolidation right here, I love this. I love this setup right here, guys. You get the run, it fakes people out right here. You get the people that sell off, and then the true longs get in as soon as it takes out the top of that. Boom, and now you're just riding the position. You even had a chance to put orders in, which I'm pretty sure I did, right into the tops at 32 flat. Come on, guys. Beautiful entries off of that. WY on watch for tomorrow. X oil play. Let's see what this looks like. Oh man, could you have called this one out? Building a nice U shape, looks gorgeous. A little bit late to the party. We got plenty of oil plays on here, and then we got Zillow staying bullish. Europe's churning away, and we got Zoom. So Zoom, we're waiting for Zoom to really start turning back positive. It had a pretty bullish close. It looked very bearish towards the end of the day, and then it turned back bullish. Let's go take a look at it. Let's clear the chart. For starters, descending channel. So it's marking the channel. Descending channel. We break through the channel at the close of the day, and we took out previous high. Now, boom. Here's your dip buy at the top as we're getting ready to go positive. Now we went positive. Could have took breakouts of this all day. Well, then you're negative on the trade coming at the end of the day. Do you want to hold this to the close? Boom, boom, boom. Last 3 candles of the day, bullish as can be. Zoom, definitely gonna catch the watch list tomorrow. So definitely a lot more plays on the watch list today. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. 39 potential plays tomorrow. You guys show me anybody else who's live streaming this. And I'm telling you guys, 39 plays right here, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plays that are potential profit takes that we've already just been hitting home runs on. So, yeah, oil on watch for tomorrow, 100%. They're all setting up, and I'm going to leave it at that. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to try and get the quality figured out and get that fixed for you guys. Oh, we do have oh, Denny Crow, thank you for the comment. I see you on the oil. Yeah, Mr. Crow, you best believe we're going to be watching the oil chart for tomorrow. But we are going to call it at that. We'll see you guys tomorrow.